Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to learn what exponents are and how to simplify them. So what is an exponent? So if you see something like this, where you have a number and then you see some power here. So this number right here, this is the base, and this number right here is called the exponent. And this whole thing is called a power. And we can also write this like this. So we can say 2 and this caret symbol and then 3. So we can say 2 to the power of 3 or 2 raised to 3. It all means the same thing. So let's take this example and really see what it means. So now let's see how we can simplify them. So when you see something like this where you have 2, which is the base, to the power of 3, it just means we have 3 of these base numbers getting multiplied together. So it just means we have 3 of 2's here. So and they're getting multiplied. So 2 to the power of 3 just means 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. And remember, one of the common mistakes here is thinking this is 2 multiplied by itself 3 times, which is not the case, because if you multiply 2 with itself 3 times, so what do you get? You get 2 times 2, this is 1 multiplication, times 2, this is 2 multiplications times 2. And this is going to give you 16, which is not true. So it's really 3 of these base numbers getting multiplied together. Okay? So let's say if you have to the power of 4, it just means you have 4 of these 3's. So you have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 getting multiplied together. So you get, so 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 times 3 is 81. So this is just 81. Okay? And then there are some laws or some rules for simplifying exponents, and I'm gonna go over the main 4 today. So let's go over the first one. Any number to the power of 0, it just equals 1, except if the number is 0, because the rule does not apply to that number. But anything else like 2 to the power of 0, or even let's say 100,000 to the power of 0 is still 1. Now let's see why 2 to the power of 0 or any number for that matter to the power of 0 except for 0 is 1. So let's take 2 to the power of 4, then 2 to the power of, so I'm going to take 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 3, 2, 1, and then finally 0. Now let's simplify them. What is 2 to the power of 4? It's just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So you have 4 of these 2's getting multiplied. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you get 4, 8, 16. So you get 16 here. Now let's solve this one. 3 of 2's getting multiplied. So here we have 2 times 2 times 2, because we have 3 of these getting multiplied together. So that just gives you 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so you get 8 here. Now similarly here, we have just 2 of these, so 2 times 2 is 4. And then here, we have just 1 of this. So it just by itself, so it just becomes 2. Now see, there's a pattern here. So we have 16, and then we have 8 here, we have 4 here, and then we have 2 here. So every time we are going down by the power. So every time the exponent goes down for the same base, we just divide this number by the base. So here we are dividing this by 2 by the base, so we get 8 here. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, and then 8 divided by 2, since we are going from 3 to 2, we divide it again by 2, we get 4. And then going from 2 to 1, we divided by 2 again, we get 2. Now finally for here, if we repeat this pattern, we're going to divide this by the base again. So we divide 2 by 2 and we get 1. So that's why 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. Okay, so that's the rule of 0. So any number except for 0 to the power of 0 equals 1. Now let's go over our second law of exponent, or the second rule of exponent. So if we have 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 2 to the power of, let's say, 4, so you have the same base here and the power or the exponent is different, we have a rule called the product rule, where if the base is the same, here it is the same, we just add these numbers, the exponents. So we get 2 and then we just add these numbers, so it just becomes 3 plus 4 equals 2 to the power of 7, and then we can simplify it. Now if we have something like this where we have the same base, so 2 to the power of 4 in the numerator, and then the same base here with a different power in the denominator. So this is the quotient rule or the dividing rule. So this just becomes, we write the base here and then we subtract the powers here. So 4 minus 3. So you take the power on the top and then you subtract this power. So 4 minus 3, and this just becomes 2 to the power of 1, and this is simply 2. Now let's go over another main rule, which is the power rule, where if you have a power here, so you have 2 to the power of 3 and this whole thing to the power of 4. So here what happens is this just becomes 2 to the power of 3 times 4. So we multiply the exponents or the powers, and then this simply becomes 3 times 4 is 12. So this just becomes 2 to the power of 12, and here's our answer. Okay, so we just went over what exponents are and how to simplify them, and we went over the 4 main laws or the rules of simplifying exponents. If you found this helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you for watching.